G'day folks, it's Cortezerino. So you want to build a villager trading hall, and maybe you've never built one before, and you go onto YouTube and you have a look at designs. You quickly realize there is a lot more to it than you might think at first. You have to build a villager breeder, and often those require you to feed the villagers, so you look at automatic carrot or potato farms, stuff like that. And then you have to build the hall and fiddle around with minecarts and water streams and connect everything. It can get a little bit confusing, but this design behind me will do all of that all in one machine. So this design is perfect for people who haven't played around with villagers before, but I'd even recommend this for people who have a lot of experience with villager breeders and trading halls, because it is so simple to build. There is 0 redstone, and the only iron you need is 3 iron ingots to make a bucket. So if you're starting a new world or a new season on a server, you can have this up and running in an hour or two. If there's a village nearby, you can have this ready to go, ready to start getting mending books before you even find your first diamond. Now you saw in that time lapse before, I only put 2 villagers in this first boat. And that's all I did. Then I went to bed, had my beauty sleep, and came back the next day, and it looked like this. They put themselves into the boat. And that's what makes this a good trading hall. So I'll quickly explain how it works. We've got a farmer up here, and he runs around here harvesting crops, and what he'll do is he'll look down at these guys in the boats and go, "You're hungry, and I'm such a nice guy, I'm going to share my food with you." And then they will start breeding because they're in range of these doors up here, and this poor lonely guy up here thinks he's the only one in the village, and the village needs more villagers, so they'll start making babies. Now, unlike a few designs that use this harvesting technique, we're not going to get extra babies up here because this guy is just out of range of the guys in the boats, that he's not going to breed with them. So we'll get no babies running around up the top. All of the babies get pushed straight down from the boat's hitbox, and they land down below here, and we wait for them to grow up. Now, what happens when they grow up? If they walk onto this bit of carpet, it pushes their heads up just high enough that it hits the hitbox of the boat. And if there's an empty space in the boat, then they'll get sucked up into it. So this is why it's a good trading hall. So we'll come along here, we've AFK'd overnight, and we've got all these villagers ready to go. And first thing we're going to do is, we don't want the nitwit. He's hopeless. So we'll give him a choppy. This is the only manual part of the farm. You do have to kill them manually, and be careful not to hit the boat, and you can see he's instantly replaced. Now it will slow down when you get fewer villagers down the bottom. You have to wait for them just to wander around using their AI, and eventually they'll make their way up into the boat. But when we've got lots of villagers down there, it's super quick. So I probably don't want you. We'll get rid of you, see if we get another one straight away. We did. So it's as simple as that, guys. So I know when I start a new season on my server or start a single player world, I am going to build this thing straight away, and I still might go ahead and build a proper trading hall much later on down the track when I have enough resources, but I'd probably keep this as my villager breeder. I'd just put a water stream down here and send all the babies off to my new trading hall. But to begin with, this would be fantastic. And honestly, I might end up keeping this, because realistically, with AFK fishing as good as it is, you're going to have a fair bit of books already, and all you really need is a guy to get glowstone off, your mending book guy, an unbreaking 3 guy, and you know what, this would probably do the trick. This would be all I would need, I think. But enough of me yammering, let me show you how to build it. So I'm going to start using glass blocks. Now these don't have to be glass. You can use solid blocks if you like, but I like the idea of being able to see into where the villagers are and see everything that's going on. So we need a line of these that's 17 blocks long. So now we've got that. Using glass still, I'm going to bring this down another 2 blocks all the way along. Okay, so you've got your wall that's 17 blocks long and 3 blocks high. Come along to each top corner and using glass panes, come out 2 like so. And then at the end, we're going to build a line across and connect the two. Alrighty, once you've done that, come along to the top here. You're going to skip a block and then place a glass pane. Skip a block, place a pane, and continue this all the way to the end. Okay, so just under these panes of glass, I want you to place a row of wooden trapdoors all the way along here like so. And once you're done, you can open them all up. Now we're going to drop some boats into each of these holes. So you want to face all the boats in the same direction. And it might be a bit easier to build a bit of a platform here to stand on. We'll build this out of glass as well. So when you're trading with the villagers, you can look down and see how many you've got underneath. So placing the boats in the same direction, just place them in front like that. And this is a little bit finicky, but you can give them a nudge until they all fall in the hole. And if you don't like how they fall in, if they're a bit wonky, just jump in the boat and give it a bit of a steer. And yeah, just keep doing that, all the boats in the same direction until you've filled each of these holes. Okay, so we've got all our boats in. Now I want you to grab some glass panes and we're going to build a little wall just in front of the boats right here. Now this will stop us from falling into the boats while we're trading with them. You'll still be able to reach the villagers to trade with them. But the main reason we're putting that there is when they start throwing their food around, sharing their food, if you don't have that wall there, they're going to throw the food out of reach. So that just keeps it within reach so they can get it back. So now we're going to build our holding cell for the villagers. So we'll put a floor in. This floor is going to come back 3 blocks like so. And we're going to build this all the way to the end. Okay, so now we've got our floor in. The villagers aren't going to be tall enough to hit the hitboxes of the boats. So to lift them up just high enough, we're going to put a double layer of carpet in here. And we're not going to put carpet on this last one. That's just a little alleyway for them to walk around. If we had carpet everywhere, once you get villagers inside the boats, the hitboxes of the villagers can make guys get a little bit stuck. So we want a nice clear alleyway for them to be able to walk around. So once you've done that, just put some walls around your little room here. These can be 3 blocks tall all the way around. Now I'm not putting in these corner sections here, but just be mindful if you're building this above ground and zombies can get to your machine, they can actually attack your villagers through these corners. So if it's above ground, you probably want to put those corners in. So now we're going to build a rectangular piece of farmland that's 17 blocks long and 9 blocks wide. And we're going to place our first corner right there. And we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And 17 across in this direction, and then you can go ahead and connect up the rectangle and fill in all the dirt. Okay, so now we've got our farmland in place. We're going to need to hydrate all the earth in this area. So come along to a corner, count the corner as 1 and come in diagonally 2, 3, 4, and then knock out number 5, and we'll do that over this side as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, knock that out, then come underneath and we'll place a block there so our water doesn't run away, and then just grab your bucket and place the water in there. And once you've done that, you can grab a hoe. I've got a diamond hoe, they're the best. And you can go ahead and hoe all of your earth. Now this farm will work with carrots or potatoes or both. If you like, you can plant both. And just go ahead and plant them all in here. Now if you're building this very early game, maybe you found a village and you've got some crops out of their little plantations, you're not going to have enough crops to fill in this whole area, but just plant what you have, and once you put your farmer in here, he will eventually plant all the rest and fill up the entire area. So now we're going to build our wall so the farmer can't run away, and this is going to be 2 blocks tall all the way around, except for this front section. Leave that bare for the time being, so just at the sides and at the back. So now we've got our wall in. Just for looks, I like to continue it all the way out so it connects to these glass panes at the front here. So you can do that on both sides. And then we need to build something to stop the farmer from falling off the edge here, but allowing him to still throw the food down to these villagers. So grab yourself some half slabs, come out one from the edge and place a line of them all the way across here. Okay, so we also don't want our farmer falling into the water. So above the water, like so, place a block, and then he's not going to run into there. And you can, missed a carrot. You can place torches around these and around this one here, and then just scatter torches all the way around your farm. And before we forget, we're going to get beasties spawn down the bottom here if we're not careful. So come into here and scatter some torches along here as well. Beasties aren't going to spawn on the carpet, but they will spawn on this section here. So what's next, you say? Nothing. We are done. We just need to add some villagers. So previously when I've done automatic farms like this, I've said to not till your earth until you get your villager in here because he can glitch through the tilled earth. Well, they've fixed that bug, so you don't have to worry about that now. So up the top here, we want to get a brown-robed villager. Now, if he's got a brown robe with a white or a black apron over the top, that's no good. He's not going to work. So this guy, he's no good. He's not a farmer. So you can get rid of him. It doesn't have to be a farmer, just any brown robe. So this could take a while. I'm not having much luck. There we go. Got one finally. And they've mucked up all my farmland here. So let's just go around and fix all this up. Okay, so we're going to need 2 villagers in one of these boats to get started. Now, earlier I said face all the boats in one direction. That's very important because when they start throwing their food around, sharing it, they're going to throw it forward. So they're going to sit in their boat facing forwards. And if you put them in this boat here, they're going to throw all their food away. So I've got all the boats facing this direction. So this is the boat you want to put your first 2 in. So if they throw their food away, it's just going to hit that wall and they get it back. And this is really easy to do. Just bring them in here and push them onto the carpet. As soon as they hit the carpet, they are going to go straight up into the hitbox of that boat. Oh, there is one last thing to do. We need to put our guy up the top here with 6 doors who thinks he's the only guy in the village. So make sure you get the height of this right, because if you get it wrong, these guys aren't going to breed. So come along to this middle slab here, and I want you to place 5 blocks on top. 4, 5. Delete the 4 underneath, and your villager is going to sit on this block here. But before we do that, I want you to come out 1 block here, 2 up, and then 3 across on each side. On these 3 blocks on the sides, you can place a door on each of those blocks. And the same on that side, so you've got 6 doors in total. This block here will act as the roof. And then just put a few blocks here. I'll get another boat. And so you want to get your villager up here. Put him in a boat. Get in the boat. Get in the boat. He's being difficult. We got him in the boat. And then I'll just center him a little bit. We don't need these extra blocks. That's ready to go. I might put a torch up here so we don't get a zombie. But that is the farm done. Now, if you wanted to build this entire thing underground, then you could just put a couple of blocks on each side here. So those blocks act as the roofs, and get rid of these blocks in the middle and just have sky access leading straight up to the sky there. So you could use glass blocks all the way up. But that's if you want to build it underground. Now, just one small disclaimer, guys. This farm's going to take a little while to get running. All these crops have to grow. The farmer's got to farm them. He's got to feed these guys. They've got to get enough food before they become willing to breed. It's going to take a while. You might sit here for an hour or 2 and watch it and nothing happens. And you jump in the comment section and say, Cortez, you've wasted my time. This farm doesn't work. Well, relax, guys. Just go AFK, go to bed, get your beauty sleep. Come back in the morning after 8 to 10 hours, all these boats will be full of villagers. You know, I've been mucking around with villager breeders and villager trading halls for a long time, and I can tell you this is the simplest one that I've ever seen. You can trust me, of course, even though I invented it. You can believe me, surely. But this is even really good for people who do intend to build a proper big trading hall later on. this can be your first one just to get you those mending books when you're really early game and don't have a ton of resources. So leave a like, guys, if this video helps you out. Cheers, I'm Cortezerino. See you later.